Hey, it's Eran here. This is my presentation where we're going to talk about how to launch an expert Q&A membership, which is a low-ticket membership. Now, I'm very excited to be sharing this with you because I have been running a membership for over 3 years, low ticket, and that's been funding my business, and it's done in a way that solves two very specific problems. Number one, it solves the problem of having to create content in order to get customers. So most people, the situation they're in is that they are creating content hoping to get customers. That's the first thing. And this is something that's really common. You know, we're on the content hamster wheel, creating Instagram reels, creating carousel posts, creating all sorts of different things in the hopes of adding enough value, getting exposure, getting customers, and so on. That's the first problem. The second problem is that we have different overheads in our business, which at the beginning, when you're just getting started, you just don't quite realize those overheads exist. For example, you obviously got to buy a domain name, then there's professional email address, then you got to buy a funnel software, and then an email software, and then maybe you need to hire a VA, and then maybe you want to join a coaching program, and all these things that kind of creep up on you, which you as an expert, you didn't quite realize at the beginning you need to do. Now, you may or may not be aware of all those things up front, but there is always going to be this other thing that's going to creep up that you probably need. And this is something that no matter what anybody tells you or how much coaching you get, there is always going to be a little bit of surprises up front. So that's just kind of part of launching a business, because the reality is if you're an expert, maybe you're a personal trainer, maybe you're a dating coach, maybe you got some sort of a skill where you are wanting to share this online and transition to this practice online. The reality is that's its own career that you probably spend time getting certificates from, learning from, years of experience and all that. And all of a sudden, there is this whole marketing career. All of a sudden, you got to be a marketer. You got to be a social media marketing expert. You got to be a content creator. You got to be a video editor. And all these things that you just didn't know you needed to do. So that's a huge problem for a lot of people, and it holds them back. Now, I know in my memberships, the membership that I primarily run is a tech support membership. So I help experts, coaches, course creators, aspiring entrepreneurs with launching their business online by eliminating the tech struggle. So I see this all the time. Now, in this training, I'm going to tell you how to launch a low-ticket expert Q&A membership, which is a very specific type of membership, which helps you solve those two problems. Now, these two problems, to recap, is number one, creating content and being on the content hamster wheel, hoping to do all this content work, and then getting customers because you've provided value, got exposure, and all that. The second problem is all the overheads that come unexpectedly, that creep up on you as part of launching a business, whether it's for coaching or hiring or just the software overheads and all that. So those are the two problems we're going to solve by launching an expert Q&A membership. And I'm going to tell you the framework of how I've done it and how brilliant it is. Now, it was really interesting because as part of me preparing for this presentation, I was going through and finding different screenshots of people that have found me on social media, on YouTube, because of this strategy. And I just found screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot. And it was just so good to really see how brilliant this strategy works. So I want to, first of all, get real extreme clarity on who this training is for. So if you are an expert, you have some sort of a skill, and you want to provide that skill and provide advice to people, then this type of membership is for you. If you are a go-to expert on a specific topic, then that's definitely for you. If you've got people in your circle that want to know things from you, that is what this is for. So this is how this works. What is an expert Q&A membership? An expert Q&A membership is essentially a membership where people are paying you a subscription to be able to ask you questions. Now, when I launched my membership, and this was 2021, around April, I, at the time, have launched a membership, and I had over 100 people sign up at the time for that particular membership. And the membership was very simple. Get tech support, send me an email whenever you're stuck, and I will provide you with an answer or a solution in under 24 hours, either through a video or a support document or something along these lines. Now, here's how this works. Somebody is trying to set up their funnel. And let's just pretend that their question is, I'm trying to change the background of the website that I have or the funnel. So it's not plain white, but I want to put an image behind it, which is somewhat light. So it's not interfering with the text. So I want to basically make it so it's not just white, but there's a picture behind it, which is, some sort of transparent, basically. Somebody wants to know that. So they send me an email saying, Eran, how do I change the color, the background color of my website? So there's an image behind it, which doesn't interfere with the text. Let's say that this is the question. So then instead of answering that question by saying, hey, Bill, hey, Joe, hey, Mary, or whatever, what I do is I reply in a video, and in the video, I do it as follows. Hey, it's Eran here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to change the background of your website or landing page. So instead of having the background white, you will have a photo behind it, but that the photo is actually going to be displayed in a way where it does not interfere with the text, and there is going to be different variables so it looks really aesthetic on your page and gives it a totally different look and feel. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how it's done. Then, of course, I will share my screen, do a tutorial and so on. And then I will end with a CTA, call to action. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Really appreciate you. By the way, if you're new to this channel, then please do subscribe and leave a comment with the word value if this video was helpful. And if you have additional questions for me, feel free to leave the question below. By the way, this question or this video was created because of a question I got from somebody in my tech support membership. And I answered these types of questions immediately, and they can get a response in under 24 hours. So if this is something that you think you might be interested in, go check out the link, eran.link/DCT. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And then I cut the YouTube video. So now what I do, and this was at the beginning, I then took that video and I recorded it on Loom, or these days I record it on a software called TeleTV. I then take that recording and then I immediately send it to the customer. So they get a response pretty much within hours with a video solution to their question, to their problem. Now, I don't upload it to YouTube. I don't have time for it. I got to still do the thumbnail. I got to do all the SEO description. I got to do the video editing, all that stuff. Don't worry about any of that stuff. The point is that they get the answer right away, the customer, the people in my membership. But then I have this piece of content that was created. That piece of content, I then save and be like, okay, great. I will get to editing the video or fixing it or whatever I got to do. And I basically save that. Now, sometimes the video is actually perfectly uploadable. I don't need to edit anything. I don't need to do anything. I just upload it. I've done that as well. But a lot of times, maybe there was some editing needed and stuff like that. Customer was really happy because they got a solution to their question in under 24 hours, which is so good, right? So this was the core value of that membership. Now, let's talk about pricing and why this membership is so valuable. I want you to think about something here. Let's say you are launching this membership at $27 per month, and that's your founding member launch, meaning the early people who are going to join the membership are going to be at $27, and then you'll raise the price to $37 or $47 or whatever. So if you were to get $27 a month, let's say that you get 30 people to join your founding member launch. Now, I'm going to pull up my calculator and I'm going to make some quick math. $27 a month multiplied by 30 is $810 per month. Now, you might be thinking, that's not a lot. Well, let's talk about something here. When you're starting online, you got to buy a domain name, you got to buy hosting, you got to set up your software for your funnels, your landing pages, your email marketing, your Zoom account, your calendar software, maybe a CRM, Canva, video editing. It adds up. $200 a month, $300 a month. Let's say we get it up to $300 a month. Well, you just have an extra profit of $500 a month from this one membership, this expert Q&A. Now, here's the beauty of that. You have 30 people, $27 a month. You have this surplus of cash all of a sudden. And here's the beauty. If you have made a little bit of extra money, you can then also hire somebody like me to help with the tech. Maybe you're hiring a coach to help you with the marketing side of things. Maybe you're deciding to put a little bit of money on advertising, or maybe invest in a course. Maybe you want to do something else with that funds. The point is that this gives you an immediate cash injection, so you are not funding your business at a loss. You're not funding it from your 9-to-5 job. You're not funding it from your practice. You're not funding it on credit cards. You're getting customers to to actually fund your business operations because you launched an expert Q&A membership. Now, here's the other benefit. Imagine that you're answering one question per day. Now, you might be thinking, surely I'll get more than that. Let me tell you, the amount of questions that I received was not crazy, that was difficult to keep up. So one question a day might appear like nothing. The reality is if you get one question, which is a really good question, you can actually spend up to half an hour answering that question really, really well. Because you want to answer it really, really, really well. Why? Because all of a sudden, when you answer it really, really well, you get people staying in the membership and you get a valuable piece of content that's going to live on YouTube. Now, here's the beauty of that particular concept of creating content, which is yes, for the person, but it's also for your social media. You start to create this content bank and content bank and content bank and more content and more content. Let's say you do this one question a day for an entire year. You have 365 pieces of content, okay? Now, chances are you'll get more than one question a day. You might get 2 or 3. Okay, that's fine. You will still be in a position where 30 days into it, a month, 2 months into it, 3 months into it, you will have so much content that's live, that's based on legitimate questions that people have asked you. Now, there is another side benefit, and this is something that I experienced probably a year into it. After about a year, I started getting questions and questions and questions, and I had nothing more to record. I was like, well, I've already answered this. Here's a video. Or I already answered this. Here's a video. Or here's another one. Oh, another one, another one. All of a sudden, I'm like, I've got like one question a day, one question a week. Like, what am I answering? What am I doing? Like, there's nothing to answer. I've already recorded a video on so many topics. If you go to my YouTube channel, I actually have well over 500 tech tutorials on my YouTube channel. So primarily, I started the membership. I was supporting people on Kajabi. I was supporting people on New Zenler. Now I pretty much exclusively focus on System.io because the pricing model is really good. It's $197 a year. If you just to search System.io tutorials, you'll find my tutorials pretty much everywhere. And this is something that is incredibly powerful because all of a sudden realize the people that are asking questions, the people that are asking you the questions are your customers. Meaning, if they have those questions, do you really think they're the only ones? There are many other people out there that are asking the same question and they are looking for an expert to learn from. And therefore, when you're creating all this content, you are now building trust and building a traffic lead generation funnel from YouTube over to your funnels because you put your landing page in the description and all that stuff. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't have to go to YouTube. You can also write it in a blog. You can also do it on Instagram. However you want to share the answers. Maybe you prefer to write blogs on it and share the blog. That's okay. So you get a question once per day or 3 times per day. You write a blog post based on that question, and then you share that blog post with your customer. That's totally fine. I just did it on YouTube because tech tutorials are better to share screen and show how things are done. That's because it's my niche. But you might choose to do it in a totally different way. The point is, and this is the key point here, when you are launching an expert Q&A membership where you're getting paid a low ticket, low priced recurring monthly revenue from your customers to tap in your knowledge, to pick your brain, you are getting paid to create content, not the other way around. Meaning, instead of creating content, building trust, and hoping that people will become customers, you have existing customers paying you to create content. And therefore, you are doing 2 things. You're solving 2 problems. Number 1, you're funding your business operations because you've got this recurring revenue coming in and you're no longer funding it out of pocket. Number 2, you are building a content library on social media and you're getting paid to do it. It is crazy to me how few people actually do something like this because it is so powerful. And when you're consistent at that, because I've been doing it for 3 years, right? It's gotten to the point where I get consistent customers from YouTube. So when I was preparing for this presentation, I was going through my email inbox to see all the messages I've received, the emails I received from people saying, hey, Eran, I found you on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And I found so many screenshots, so many emails from people. I was like, this is unbelievable because I get customers now based on videos that I recorded because somebody paid me to record that video. That's just like so good. So that is the core concept of launching an expert Q&A membership. And doing it low ticket is actually really good because you could just get people in the door. You could do it for $7. You could do it for $27. I actually did it for $49, just so you know. So I did it even a little bit higher, but it's not even that much because you're getting tech support. It's pretty high value. But you can even do it at $7. I would happily do an expert Q&A membership for $7 because you get bigger numbers of people in the door. Now, I'm going to give you a pro tip here. When I launched my membership, it was $49. I did something that helped to boost the revenue. And this is something I strongly recommend you do. And I'm calling this the $99 strategy. So when I launched the membership, it was $49, but I also had an order bump. And the order bump was a $99 session for a one-on-one session with me. So $99 to get a one-on-one call with me personally to give them some coaching or tech support or build a website or whatever they want, basically. And I don't have the exact percentage, but it was over 50%. And I had, if I recall correctly, 63 people that have paid the $99 for the order bump. 63 people. So if you do the math on that, 63 multiplied by 99, that's $6,237 extra on top from new members that are coming in. Now you might be thinking, $99? I'm not selling my time for $99 because I charge $250 or $300 or whatever you charge for a one-on-one session. However, there is a side benefit to this. Number one, you get a much bigger cash injection up front. Okay, so you get $99 upfront from each person. All of a sudden, if you're doing a low ticket membership of, let's say, $7 or $17, you've just boosted your revenue dramatically. And what can you do with $6,000? Think about that. You can pay for a coaching program. You can pay for software for the annual plan for the next 3 years, right? For different softwares. Like, you can do so much with that money. This is so good to just cover your bases, cover your costs and all that stuff. There's another important benefit to this is what makes a membership powerful is the recurring revenue. Now, if somebody pays $7 a month and then cancels, there's not a lot of value in that for you. The value comes in when people stick around for a long time. I've got people who are with me for 3+ years, right? And that's where it's really, really valuable because those things stack up and they add up. Now, what do you think are the chances of somebody staying with you if they spoke to you on Zoom and had a one-on-one session with you versus somebody who didn't? Obviously, if somebody spoke to you on Zoom, you've done a great job. You've given them a personal consultation or a coaching session. You've given them a tremendous amount of value. You've built a solid friendship relationship with them on Zoom. They're probably going to stay with you for so much longer. So much so, when I was in my second year of launching the membership, I think it was during Christmas, I actually messaged all my members and I said, I'd love to hop on a Zoom call with every single one of you. Here's my calendar booking, 20 minutes. And during Christmas, because I knew people are taking time off or whatever, and I'm not as busy, let's just do a bunch of Zoom calls with people. And it was so good. I didn't talk to everybody. Not everybody booked a call. Not everybody were available. But even just the gesture was massively valuable. So if you are going to get paid to build a relationship with somebody, again, it goes back to the same concept of you're doing a low ticket expert Q&A membership, you're getting paid to create content. When you're doing this $99, you're getting paid to build a relationship with your members, your new members. So that's my tips for you for today. There is so much more that I can share with you about this. I can share with you different things about the YouTube strategy, how the results happen from YouTube and how that grows as well and how that affects, and how do I set up the lead generation from YouTube, how I record the videos, like what software to use and all that stuff. There is many other resources I can talk about, but I wanted to keep this presentation short and to the point and give you a high level overview of this strategy. Now, if you did want to get the other resources I have about all of this stuff, because I've obviously done an expert Q&A membership for a while now, I have blog posts on this topic. I've got videos that explain different parts of all of this as well. So if you want to just get a PDF recap of the different resources I have, if you want to dive deeper into this strategy as well, then I can have that linked below. So that's about it. That's all from me. Thanks all for watching my presentation. And the last thing I will ask is if you have any feedback for me, if you enjoyed this presentation, go to your email inbox, contact@eranbucai.com. That's my email address. I would love to connect with you on a more personal level. Just come say hi. Let me know if this particular presentation was helpful to you. And if you have any follow-up questions, I'll be glad to answer those or share with you some resources that I've already created in the past on this topic or any other questions you might have. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you soon.